Let me go ahead and change this real quick. Okay. I'm working on a slideshow. Okay, I'm working on a slideshow. This is the actual part two of the Nolan Wells was left on Horn Island, wasn't left on Horn Island, and most likely they did take the body with them. Okay, so I'm just gonna basically talk about a few things here and mention a few things. Um, I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I'm very respectful with that. I think that your time should be valued and you should spend it on something that you enjoy. Um, don't mind me. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. So I'm working on this. Oh wait, let me change my camera. There we go. OBS. I'm working on this timeline and PowerPoint. Okay, so basically, let me just move myself over here real quick. So I'm working on this PowerPoint slide so we can actually try to narrow everything down. Okay, so we can actually push it together and get somewhere with this, because they don't want us to resolve this crazy crime for a lot of reasons, and there's a lot of questions, and we need to eliminate any person that can probably be of interest that wasn't even on the boat. Okay, the first thing we're gonna take a look at, right? We know about okay, so the tampered evidence, right? Since we know, we're gonna start here real quick, because we know a lot of the other stuff, and a lot of people have already mentioned the other stuff. Tampered evidence, security camera at the dock, the white grandparent home, right? Wasn't that the grandparents' home? Wasn't that it? The phone, they probably did mess with it. We don't know that. What if they plugged it into something? You know what I'm saying? These people got money. I'm pretty sure they probably got apps or whatever the case may be. Pretty much you can pay for anything. Why it took so long? You know what I'm saying? Um, for them to give up the phone and everything else. Um, Everything seemed to me like planned out after what was done. Bart's boat GPS, very important here. Apparently, the tracking feature of Garmin GPS, apparently it was erased. So apparently when they're doing, or when they did the investigation, whatever the case may be, one or two of the boats have the GPS information, but Bart's boat doesn't. And Bart's grandfather is the owner of a dealership, of a boat dealership. Is what Pinky, I think her name is Pinky Panda or something like that. I forget her name. She has really dig deep in this case, right? Now, when we look at the interrogations, the group lies. We already know that the entire group doesn't even have the story together. Like, whether it doesn't, I'm starting to wonder if that female voice in the background that we hear, on that Cito call, is that really Katie? Is that Katie? Or is that even a different female? Who is that female? The stories are not adding up. Warren said Nolan stayed with a female on Horn Island. So Warren is lying, period. Warren, listen, Warren Hudson is lying up and down. Like, his story makes no sense to nothing. Like, you're saying that the last time you saw Nolan was around 3 o'clock, whatever the case may be, or even before you guys left Horn Island, right? But the Cito call is you guys away a little bit away from Horn Island. I mean, according to the coordinates that you guys gave. Yes, and you said Nolan stayed with a female on Horn Island. Who's that female? And Katie. So who was the other female on the boat? What is that? Who's the other female on the boat? Right? The stories are not adding up, right? The lies are all made up. Female says Nolan didn't stay with her. So right there, conspiracy. There's a bunch of people should be charged with conspiracy, period. And the crazy part is that it's probably gonna go. It's gonna be. It should be a domino effect if this case gets cracked open, because there's a lot of people involved in this shit. I don't. It's not just those kids or whatever. I don't know if they're 18, 17 or whatever. The teenagers. It's not just them involved. This is a domino effect. A lot of people should be going down. I question law enforcement. I do question law enforcement in Mississippi now, because that motherfucker that said he flew over the island and around the island, saw the body or saw boats there, and that when he actually probably got there or whatever fucking happened, and he saw the conditions of Nolan Wells, because remember, he was, I guess, I don't know if he was getting paid or not, but he had to report back to Nolan Wells' mother, right? He said that he didn't want to tell his mom the conditions that he found Nolan Wells in, and that there were cops already there that probably didn't have the authority to speak on it or to report it or to do anything. As if they wanted a specific person to handle all of that. Right? Did y'all see that interview of the Navy guy? The Cajun Navy? When he says, was it with TMZ? I believe it was with TMZ. I started recording stuff because I'm gonna make this slide, right? Then I'll provide it or whatever, and I'll make another video, and I'll provide it with links or video and everything else. So what I'm gonna do is, I know you guys probably don't see it on this side, but this is what I'm basically working on this side. So the tampered evidence, the interrogations, the departure, Horn Island itself. And then we're working off the timeline, because obviously this is where the doc was at, and he's seen, on the camera, etc. So trying to break it down way better than what TMZ is doing. Now, here's the part that you guys are missing and that I want to talk about. And I don't know if you guys on StreamYard, I know the guys on, or the people here on the mobile is gonna be able to hear it, because I recorded this part. And I don't know if the people on StreamYard is gonna be able to hear this, but let me share the video real quick. Quick time, real quick. On the Brandon Tatum interview, right? That guy's not even an officer, so let's not even get that far. Let me share my screen real quick on StreamYard. I'm gonna pick my quick time. Let me see here. Check out what he says in this interview. Okay. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to hear it, man.
First coming out, no access water.
Okay, ready? This is the part where he's explaining about removing, like trying to get rid of the water and all this bullshit, right? Watch this.
Coming out, and it was a big issue because I think the reason was because there were so many people getting on and off the boat, and at some point the boat was very, very crowded, and there was just a lot of people on, so that it drags water in. And eventually, I think over time, we were out there for a couple hours, the boat just started filling up with water. So I popped the starboard side hatch, and the battery was completely underwater.
Keep listening.
So
keep listening.
Trimmed down.
Watch.
I mean, my buddy would go to trim it down from the console, and it'd trim down, and then it'd come right back up. And so Wyatt's trying to throw a rear anchor, so we're caught, and he's yelling at people. Everybody's kind of freaking out, and eventually, I'm like yelling at other people, trying to tell them, calm down, like the boat could possibly sink, and I'm not paying attention to everyone around me. I was paying attention to my buddy's boat. And that's what all my other friends that were on that boat were doing, trying to solve the problem.
So you were on the boat now. The water is getting up.
Keep listen. This is the next part. Keep listening. This is why he says it's Wyatt's boat, right? Watch. Keep listening.
To the point where the boat may be disabled to where you couldn't get it out.
Correct.
From Horn Island. So what happens after that?
Wyatt jumps to the water, tries to throw a rear anchor.
Y'all heard those words? Let me go back a little bit real quick, because I don't think y'all heard what he just said.
Wyatt jumps to the water, tries to throw a rear anchor, and
so he tries to throw a rear anchor. How big is the anchor? What dangerous item could we be looking at right now? Because there's different weights. You know what I ended up finding when I looked up anchors for boats used as a weapon? I also found this thing called the shore spike. I also found an item called a shore spike. It's basically so you can use it on the shore and station, your boat not too far from the shore. They come in like 38 inches, 8 pounds, all the way up to like 48 inches, apparently 19 pounds. Look, I'm going to show y'all because I have more viewers over here on the shore spike. So I decided to make also a slide of dangerous boat items. Because for all we know, this can be handled, the anchor, this shore spike here, this can be handled with a hand pretty much. And yeah, somebody can definitely be murdered. Why is it that his throat and lungs are missing? Did we actually get a description of how they found the body? Yeah, so an anchor, a shore spike, dangerous boat items that maybe could have been used against Nolan Wells. I mean, if it was a one-on-one fight, I mean, other than the other theory of people saying that, there was a fight and they probably jumped them, or things that we honestly, unless we see on video, we don't know. What other things could have happened? What other objects or items? And he says he tries to throw an anchor. What is it? What do you mean try? What do you mean try?
My buddy and I are, you're sitting, looking, trying to pull trash out the bilge, and the bilge is basically a pump that pulls the water, the excess water out the boat. So the bilge was failing to work. So any excess water was just sitting in the boat. It wasn't getting pumped out. And I looked over the gunnel and I looked at the release hole for the bilge, and it was
they killed him somehow, some way. They killed him, and we gotta investigate, and we gotta figure out how the fuck this happened and why. Here's another thing: the Javon CNN and TMZ interview, right? I know he's getting like backlash, or he got backlash and all this other stuff, and people are trying to like point out the way, you know, the interviews have gone, but the mother nudging him during the interview, I honestly think is more her worried that he could be like targeted next, that he could be next. You understand me? Because maybe he wants to talk, and or maybe he actually doesn't know he wasn't on that boat during that phone call. He wasn't on that boat, right? So, you know, stating that Nolan would have stayed is pretty much pointing out that the people who said that, you know, he didn't you know, go with them allegedly on the boat, and that he stayed with Katie, that's a lie. Like, so Javon is pretty much trying to say he wouldn't have done that. He's like, you know what I mean? Like, so he did 2 interviews. He did CNN and TMZ. Y'all be the judge, but I don't know. I feel like, yo, I need y'all help though. I need y'all help. I swear to God that I seen a video of sort of bald, fat guy yelling and and like sort of pointing or like whatever, arguing in front of a crowd on a dock. And I see like Warren like pacing up and down or like doing something. Dude, if y'all know where that video is at right now, like I thought I seen that today. I mean, not today. I believe it was probably yesterday. And I'm trying to put this entire timeline thing together. There's no audio on the video. It's just something that I seen. So I just want to see. I want to see it again, man. Because I mean, I don't even know if it's like, I doubt it's AI. It didn't look like it was AI, because it's like there was a lot of faces there. There was like, I don't know, like over 20 people. But if you guys know where that video is at, I need to get a hold of that video. And it's like, I don't know if it's been taken down or what's going on. But you already know they don't want this information out, man. The fact that these people know what to do and plan shit out. You know, his dad is a doctor. Like, bro, it's this shit could be nasty. Like, y'all have no idea how these people think. I'm gonna just show you real quick how these people think on the internet real quick. Ready? This was 6 years ago. Ready? 6 years ago, somebody on Reddit, right, decided to say if someone was thrown overboard with a ship's anchor, that lets you know right off the rip how these people think. He's talking about he's seen it in a movie or American Sailor in the movie Midway. Yo, people are sick to their stomach, bro. So, you know, this could have been planned, honestly. Like, and if it was, man, this is sickening. You know what I mean? This is real sickening. again, I'm not gonna take too much of your time. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If y'all do find that video after this live or any other video of mine or whatever on my profile, y'all can go ahead and comment with the link so I can try to put everything together and whatnot. Cause TMZ is terrible, bro. Yo, TMZ don't do a good job at fucking nothing. They in reality, journalists in California are a fucking joke. Like the ones that work for all the big media, ABC, NBC, all of them, they're a fucking joke. All of them. They don't know how to do a damn thing. But they rely on social media. Once it's trending, once they see it on social media from somebody who's actually out there, that's when they start posting. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, but yeah, man, TMZ is terrible at this. I honestly think I don't understand why he says try. What do you mean try to throw an anchor?
With the water. So, I mean, we're all freaking out. All of our, we're not focused on anything else other than the boat. Well, then eventually my buddy Bart on the tide line is like, I'm going to pull y'all out to where we're out of all this, all this chaos. Cause we left at 4:30 and there were still just as many people there, if not more than when we got there. I mean, probably around the same amount. I mean, it was crazy. Like there was a lot of people. And, eventually Bart pulls us out. We left at 4:30, but we really weren't pulled out away from everybody. We were probably about a quarter mile out, and we had the towing strap pulled from, Bart's port side cleat or starboard side cleat, and he was on our starboard side bow. And so it was rubbing on his power pole. So Bart turned around, pulled up next to our boat, and we were just trying to get it situated. So that's when Wyatt called sea tow. And
I heard that, right? So listen, Wyatt Warren, and Bart know exactly what happened to Nolan. Period. I don't want to hear no buts and if or we don't know what you're talking about. No, motherfucker, we don't know what you're talking about. Because if the Cito phone call happened, period, and we heard Nolan's name more than once, and a bunch of other things that are pretty much disappointing facts to this case, then you're telling me this is Wyatt's boat or grandfather whatever or Bart's grandfather whatever. Wyatt, Bart, Warren, Hudson, yo, all three of you know exactly what happened. Conspiracy on all three. Like, what's going on? Where's the interviews? What's the interrogations? What's going on? This shit's crazy, bro.
Wyatt was like, calls them because the cell service isn't great at the island, but what?
That's pretty much
you can use your phone, but stuff might not send, and it's not great. You got maybe one.
What I wanted to touch up on, I just want to touch up on little clues here and there. You know how you used to play the game Clue, and you had to figure out, what item did they use or what? Because Nolan Wells, if he was a strong athlete, think about also the dedication maybe that he had to that, and maybe what if he didn't drink too much? Maybe what if they drunk too much? What if he didn't drink too much? And he was capable of defending himself at all times. But in reality, they had to use maybe an item, maybe an object, because they clearly on the phone call start saying all these things like, is he dead? Wake up, Nolan.
Off the island, you have cell coverage, and even on Island, like I called my mom when we were on Island. It was fine. Like we had enough cell coverage to make a phone call, shoot text over, but you don't have enough cell coverage to like send a picture, for example. So what?
So I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, you don't get enough data to basically send videos or certain amount of megabytes and all that good stuff. I understand that, but you can't. The problem is that every state is different. You got to understand law. Even if you use a lie detector test in a room court of law, that's they can. It doesn't necessarily help you. You understand what I'm saying? They can still say, oh, like it's not enough evidence. They'll try to whatever. So instead, what they got to do is charge the owners or whoever's driving the fucking boats. That's what they had to. That's what they have to do. So it is what it is. I don't know. They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to really. They're not. They don't care. The other part I wanted to touch up on. Well, actually, I already touched up on it. The police probably even got involved. This guy is one of their grandfathers is a boat dealership owner. You know how much money he got? He pretty much sold the boat to everybody down there. I don't know how long he had that dealership, but you understand what I'm saying? Everybody is connected, bro. So it's like I wouldn't trust a cop. You know what I'm saying? Like how was this not like major news and they didn't take pictures and where was all the information out like that we needed? We don't know if he ended up getting stabbed, like I said before. But they opened up the body for the organs. That's what they did. That's what they did do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that part. Yup. They sure did. They waited for that report. That's the awful part. That's the phone part. That's the when I said, tampering with evidence, they even waited to tell his mom to such and such time and the report was like basically midnight. It was basically at midnight. So once that happened and they went and did whatever they were doing or wanted to do or panicking or whatever, other people got involved. Matter of fact, other people got involved from the rip because when Wyatt calls the CETO and they're about to do the transfer, the captain tells the dispatcher, I already spoke to the grandpa. So from the rip, there was already an adult involved in this whole altercation. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. But yeah, as far as the Javon thing, I want that to be clear. Like, think about how nervous a mom would be. She looked like she's mixed herself, but I don't know. But she probably nudged them like, don't talk too much or don't say nothing, like because she's probably worried that her kid might end up missing one day because he hangs out with them. Javon hangs out with them type of crowds right now. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the friends that he has. I don't know, man. Immediate cover up. I would love to see the phones during this time. We need to see social media. Now This is what I want you guys to pay attention to, and I want you guys to understand. Right now, we're supposed to pay attention what Facebook, Twitter, what all these social media companies are going to do to help with this case. We'll see if they get involved, and we'll see if they want to help, because they can help. Um, there's different theories that could have happened, whether if they even dumped the body away from far eyesight, or if they hid the body and even possibly used another boat. You know, body being found Monday, 2 days later at 8:40 in the morning. Questionable. All of that is questionable. All of that. The security cameras that was tampered with no footage in the afternoon or in the evening, all that is questionable. Everything. Hey, so am I. That's what they don't know. That's what we doing this. Cause that's exactly what I am. I'm a menace to their society. You heard? That's what that's what they ain't tell you. I'm a menace to their society. They hate me so much. They flag me everywhere. They yeah, they hate me. They hate me, bro. They hate me because I like to speak on the truth, and I call bullshit everywhere I go. Did I make the list? Oh, trust me, man. I've been there. It's cancel culture and everything, all of that. Um, Ridiculous. Like, whether it's YouTube, Google, Indeed, California. Oh, I made the list all right, because I tell them straight, man. I'm a real nasty motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm I don't need validation from nobody. I'm from Philly. Like, I get it from the mud. You know what I'm saying? Y como yo hablo español, pues la realidad es que yo puedo ir a Latinoamérica, puedo ir a Colombia, Venezuela, Chile, Puerto Rico, Cuba. I can make it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I honestly can make it anywhere. The whole thing is the frauds. They don't like when I call them frauds and pigs, because that's what they are. There's so much fraud going on in this state. It's ridiculous. The teams should change their name to the Los Angeles Frauds. Honestly, every team they have. But anyway, forget about all that. I don't want to waste your time. I hope that some of you create a live, make shorts, definitely create content on this. We need to keep the algorithm going. This is not about me. This is about justice for Nolan Wells, because this is bullshit. This needs to get resolved. Nobody has been arrested, bro. Nobody has been arrested. It's bullshit. Like, it's ridiculous, yo. So, I was looking up even like boat anchor used for murder, or if like shore spike has ever been used for murder, and that type of stuff. I made the list. You're broke. No, I'm not broke. If I was broke, I wouldn't be here. But yeah, there's all kind of anchors, guys. Like, so I'm trying to understand, and that Tatum nut ass, he's a dumb bitch. Like, you can't interview for shit. You get an interview, you don't even ask the right questions, and that shit was trash. But I feel like maybe eventually these guys give out certain clues and certain things that might lead to the case getting resolved, or for us to crack the case. And that's why I just question, like, what items did they have on that boat to kill Nolan Wells? because the way they're acting, it looked like he was set up. Honestly, it looked like he was set up. And so, as far as an anchor, they've used it for murder and things like that in the past. But surprisingly, the short spike, apparently nothing ever in court has ever shown up that someone has used a short spike to maybe put it through a body of a person, kill a person. It's like a sword, it's like a blade. You know what I'm saying? So who knows what happened, man? I'm just trying to put something together that would help people understand a little bit. But regardless, man, the facts are the facts. If you look at the story and the mentions the names that they mention that are there, like Wyatt, Bart, and Warren, and then the phone call, bro, they're guilty, bro. They're just lying. But they know what happened. They're all like lying for each other. Ridiculous, yo. Man, if y'all find that video, y'all let me know. I'm outie. About to roll up another one. Probably play a little game or watch another movie or whatever the fuck. I don't want to waste your time. Your time is valuable, important. Do something out there. Speak on it. Peace.